Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Lions and the Buccaneers. All that and more coming up next.
Still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. So here are the Buccaneers ready to go on offense with a new man at the helm here for 2023 in his 6th season now in the NFL, Baker Mayfield.
And coming up with an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Mayfield to throw on the first play. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. That's caught inside the 20. A huge play there right off the bat. 36 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I'd never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a third-round pick a year ago. Here's Rachaad White. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rachaad White, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. Well, the Lions offense getting ready to go to work here, and under center, a man whose career's been rejuvenated a bit as of late. And season number 8 now out of Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not, just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Well, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. This defense for the Buccaneers very strong in that victory a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Taking it about the 16. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And the Bucs are getting ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11. Oh, he fakes a spike. Going for the deep ball. And that is going to wind up incomplete, so they try to hit him with something you don't see too often, but it doesn't work out.
Trying to get the ball to his tight end in the center of the field where he runs a lot of his routes and ostensibly is extremely comfortable. He was hoping he'd find a seam and a big gainer to go along with it, but that one was incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now a 2nd and 10. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Goff. Throw over the middle, he finds Williams. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. So the completion there, but Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top? And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Levante David came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
And he's going to go down again. Devin White defeating the offensive line and getting to the quarterback.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Going with White here, toss left. Running free at the 45. Off to the races. Moving inside the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rashad White, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Buccaneers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On 2nd down, here's Goff. And that's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Mike Evans, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse, and this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Goff. Goes down, it's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Joe Tryon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Gibbs. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
We call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Mike Evans in the Tampa offense about to set up shop. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Out route, and the ball is caught by Godwin. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mayfield now. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play fake. Mayfield. Looking downfield for Godwin. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Finds Gibbs on the check down. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Levante David. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. He'll take it at the 42. A very good return there, giving it even 20 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mayfield off the play fake. Airing this one out for Evans. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Mayfield on play action. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half, Mayfield. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And those two are
Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Throwing on third, gone. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here comes the Lions punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is fielded at the 27. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. He returns that punt 73 yards.
And the Bucs are able to widen their advantage.
And as soon as they hand a rookie his playbook, they say you better make your mark on special teams if you want to hang around. I'd say returning one for a touchdown will definitely leave a memory.
Yeah, that's a pretty indelible mark here early on in his career. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, here's Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. The defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. The Lions offense set to take over. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now that'll be caught by St. Brown.
Off to St. Brown for the Detroit first down.
A gain of a yard. And the Lions first down.
Shell.
They'll look to throw here. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Devin White able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he fields it cleanly. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10
at their own 21. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Alexander Johnson, the one to drop him.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Looking downfield for Godwin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Airing this one out for Evans. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So out now come the Lions.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now gone. A short throw. This is caught by Cox.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the 1st down marker at the Bucs 28. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 31 situation.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
They'll fake the give. Now gone. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Patterson's kick is good.
And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive, because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the 1st quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Tampa Bay offense set to go again. And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time, as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10
at the 31-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
He'll get that out to the flat to White.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues. Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Mayfield's throw taken in by Evans here. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Over 30 yards there. And first downs on 3 consecutive plays now.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Here's White. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rashad White, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs are closing in on a 4-1 start as they extend their fourth quarter lead.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here, because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 14 yards that time for number 14. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. To throw is Goff. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now Goff on 1st down. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
2nd and 10.
Here's Goff. And his throw here is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like in the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing to the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
On 4th down, Goff to the sidelines, and Detroit has Riley Patterson out there for the field goal.
And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt.
Patterson's kick is good.
And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10.
They'll start the drive with a give to White. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
135 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, that's a carry to have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. And a dump off to White. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Buccaneers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions,